They say university makes students. Here, students make university. So with the slogan of Think Big, I, Himanshi Kaushik, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on emerging role of public policy, administration, and civil services. And I hope that you all are doing fine, happy, sound, and healthy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we dive deep into the knowledge and the role of administration, civil services, we're going to learn through the session today. We have our expert here with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Dr. Pavitra Prakash Sir, Professor and Dean, School of Social Sciences and Languages, lovely professional university here with us. A leader, a mentor, and an accomplished professor with a career spanning over 26 years with a rich and diverse experience in the industry, teaching, and research. Dr. Singh has undertaken and supervised over 162 academic and 7 consultancy projects throughout his career. He has presented over 50 research papers in various national and international conferences and seminars of repute. So, sir, it is a pleasure for us to be here in the session. And I sincerely welcome you in the session, sir. And with this, I'd like to introduce our second expert, Dr. Manvendra Singh, Associate Professor, School of Humanities, lovely professional university here with us. He has qualified his UGC NET in 2016, and since then he has been an amazing coordinator and has more than 7 years of experience in teaching. He has been providing his assistance in various schools and has provided his guidance to various masters and PhD students. He has published various books and has many research papers published under his name. He himself has been a university topper and has been a part of various national and international conferences. So, sir, I heartily welcome you in the webinar, and it is again a pleasure of ours to be here in the webinar. Now, with due respect, I'd like to request Pavitra sir to kindly take over the screen, sir. Over to you, and looking forward for an amazing session, sir.
Thank you, Himanshi. Thank you. Thank you for the pleasant word that you have spoken for me, as well as my esteemed colleague, Dr. Manvendra. Hope this will be an enriching journey for all of us in the next coming 30, 40, 50 minutes, whatever are allocated to us. Dr. Manvendra, let's take it the same way. I'll ask you a small question.
Yes, sir.
What is the definition of a success?
So success,
you understand.
success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So it's a continuous journey, sir. It's not like a one-time destination. And when we talk about success, most of the time it is the journey that matters rather than the destination itself. So I would say that continuous and progressive realization of a goal which is worthy enough to be accomplished. That is success.
And you are famous for quoting one of the presidents for this.
Yes, sir. There was a former president and a great philosopher as well, Mr. Calvin Coolidge. Someone has asked Mr. Calvin Coolidge that, can you please tell us what is the formula for success if we wish to achieve success? To which he replied that I have seen many geniuses in my life, but there is no guarantee that if someone is genius, they can be successful as well. I have seen many extraordinary people, extraordinary talented individuals and intellectuals in my life, but that is also not a surety to success. Then what is the formula to success? In simple words, he defined it by saying it is the continuous perseverance of efforts that will make any individual more and more and closer and linked to success.
That's great. So in a way, being consistent and sticking, and the way you are saying perseverance is the way to success.
Absolutely.
And when we talk about at least Indian connection, Indian education system, we always say civil services is the epitome of success. How do you see civil services? What do we understand by civil services?
Right, sir. So basically, sir, this concept of civil services in India is broadly categorized into three. Broadly categorized into three different parts, which is All India Services, central government services and state government services. When I talk about civil services, the evolution of civil services dates back to 17th century during the Britishers' time period. At that point of time, when they have started establishing colonies in many different parts of the world, mainly targeting Indian subcontinent, that point of time, they try to differentiate the civil service from other services like defense, like navy, like their own defense army forces. So they have created a range of hierarchy of individuals aged from 18 years to 26 years to the max. And they have graded it like the first a junior apprentice, then the factors, then the merchants, then the junior merchant, then the senior merchant. And later on, with the progressive development of the British East India colony, they have made it administrative controlling units by categorizing the civil services into two different parts. One is covenanted civil services, second is uncovenanted civil services. So covenanted civil service was exclusively reserved for the Europeans and the British white people, whereas uncovenanted civil services was given as an entry gate for the Indians for the lower government jobs and positions. Later on, from uncovenanted to covenanted, on the initiatives of many different commissions ranging from Ellington Commissions, Lee Commission, Hitchison Commissions, and with the recommendations provided by the Lord Thomas Babington Macaulay Committee, it was gradually and gradually categorized into class 1, class 2, superior and inferior civil services. Then after the independence of India, on the recommendations of First Pay Commission 1946 to 47, whose chairman was Mr. K.C. Niyogi, it was changed to class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4 civil services. Okay. Later on in 1974 to 76, again on the recommendations of Third Pay Commission, it was changed to class 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, Group A, Group B, Group C and Group D civil services. Okay. So now, if I talk about the All India Civil Services, basically, after independence of India, there were 6 different types of All India services. Okay. Which were Indian Administrative Services. Next slide. Next. Then Indian Police Services, Indian Foreign Services, and then the different categories of allied civil services which are apart from the All India services. So All India services on one hand, then central services, group A, B, C, D, and then state civil services. That is the overall bifurcation and broader classification of civil services in this country. If I talk about other central government services, at the top is group A civil services, in which we are having Indian foreign services, because the moment the results are out of UPSC, the first top 3 candidates priority were given to the Ministry of External Affairs for the IFS positions, Indian Foreign Service positions.
And the joining designation of their jobs.
Joining designations, it's ranging from the junior external civil servants to ranging from ambassadors up to when they reach there, of course, higher gradations. So after doing a lot of training, like normally their training is also ranging from 36 months to even 60 months in certain cases. As compared to the other All India services whose training is spanning from 24 months to max 30 months of training and probation period. But for IFS, because they have been sent to, first of all, for the entire Bharat Darshan tour, in which they will travel to the length and breadth of this country, and they learn minimum more than 3 languages apart from English and Hindi and another regional vernacular languages. So for that, they have been deputed to many other foreign missions, diplomatic missions, even some international agencies of the United Nations organizations across different parts of the globe.
So almost, as you were saying, 36 months to 60 months. So that is kind of 5 years is their
3
training,
to 5 years of
3
training.
to 5 years of training. That's great. Thank you,
Then,
Dr. Manvendra, to leading us to a small glimpse of what is success. I wanted to share that kind of a success. That our topic is emerging role of public policy, administration, and civil services. So the point which I wanted to bring home was that civil services we always see as a epitome of success, that आज भी लोगों में ये बात होती है, आप क्या करते हो? मैं सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी करता हूँ. And when you do crack civil services, it is a kind of a whole DJ party erupting in over there in the whole of the district, not talk about the community where they live or the residents they live. So we have moved to the role of what is a success, how civil services and different paraphernalias help us in achieving those kind of success. As you were elaborating, there are few parts of IS services. You were talking about how it was pre-independence era, post-independence era. It was divided into two or three graduations were always over there. Doctor, I'd like to ask one more question. Am I asking?
Absolutely, sir. Please.
What was your feeling when you appeared for civil services? I'm right. You appeared for civil services.
Absolutely, sir. I have attempted twice UPSC civil service exam in my life. Although it was very much like a busy and hectic schedule for me, because at that time I was working and simultaneously preparing for the UPSC civil services. So I was not able to reach the final stage and crack the civil services.
So maybe the President of America never said those words of perseverance to you. Till that time you learned it.
I guess so, sir. I guess so. But still, if you see, yes, sir, you are very right that if you ask any parent of this country that if you are having the wish for your child, for your wards, what career you will want for them, the first preference for any parents from Kashmir to Kanyakumari would be the civil services. I want my son or daughter to become IAS or the magistrate or the DM or the DC, whatever the designation, depends upon the region to region, because the service is the same, Indian Administrative Service, but the name and the designation of these services varies. Like in some states of Punjab, Haryana, we call it DC, Deputy Commissioner. Okay. In some states, we call it DM, like UP, Rajasthan. Okay. And in some states, we call it the DC, District Collector. But they all are belonging to common rank, designation, and service, which is the civil service, which is the Indian Administrative Service. So they get equal pay, equal benefits, equal facilities, equal privileges, whether they are posted at J&K or whether they are posted at Chennai.
Doctor, coming back to that, what was the feeling when you were writing the papers?
Sir, I was expecting...
Were you seeing yourself as a IAS while writing the paper? What was the feeling?
Sir, my feeling was like I was very much passionate about this. Because previous to that, I was winning the CSR Super Brain Essay competition 4 times in my life, sir. And when I have appeared for this competition, I got 20th rank, All India rank 20. Yeah. Then in my second attempt, means one attempt every year, I got rank All India 16th rank. Oh. Then in my third attempt, I got All India rank 3. Oh. And when I got All India rank 3, that boosted my confidence that if I can got rank 3, I can get rank 1 as well. And next year, I got, sir, All India rank 1.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So the feeling was of elevation only, yes, that you wanted to see the success in every way. Absolutely. And definitely, Doctor, when you were talking about the success, civil services, the feeling was also like that. Doctor, at LPU, do we offer some kind of opportunities for preparing for civil services?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there some kind of a thing?
Yes, absolutely, sir. At LPU, we are offering this civil service preparation at 2 stages. One is at UG level, where we are having the BA civil service pathway. And at the PG level, we are having the Masters in Public Administration, which is specifically designed in such a way with the help of which a candidate who is entering into the MA Public Administration will specialize in public policy, will specialize in governance, will specialize in civil services. And even if they are unable to crack civil services in their few attempts, there are plenty of opportunities in line with the emerging trends in public policy and administration, which will make them, suitable for these emerging new categories of jobs, such as policy analysis.
That was what you were referring in the afternoon also when I asked you that after civil services, if someone is unfortunately not able to crack. Then you told me that it's like a grandfather, all other grandsons, granddaughters will come into it.
Absolutely, sir.
Doctor, just a bit elaboration about it, not in the details. The civil services exam is divided into three parts. What are those? Just in
Right,
1 or 2 minutes.
Right, sir. Sir, the civil service exam was changed a lot because of so many committees. Like initially from 1853, if I talk about Thomas Babington Macaulay, then Satish Chandra Committee of 70s, then Kothari Committee of 2000, then YK Alag Committee, then finally in 2004 we were having the PC Hota Committee.
Okay.
And successively the nature and type of this exam has evolved and changed over a time. Like in 2011, if I talk the recent change, in 2011, the second paper that was used to be an optional and preliminary exam was replaced by CSAT, Civil Service Aptitude Test. So they have eliminated the optional and they have put the Civil Service Aptitude Test so that a candidate who is having the basic mathematics, quantitative, reasoning, logical, verbal ability skills, decision making skills, interpersonal skills, is able to crack this irrespective of the fact that whatever option he has chosen. Because initially it was perceived that many candidates who are good in memorizing the facts, so they take one optional, they memorize the fact and they crack the pre. But in order to give the fair and equal opportunity to most of the aspirants, they have changed it and made it civil service aptitude test on the basis of the syllogism which was given by the trio of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Okay, great. So now we are having three different patterns. First is preliminary exam. Okay. There are two papers, GS paper 1 and GS paper 2.
And at LPU, we prepare them for, in UG courses, we prepare them for prelims.
Prelims, specific.
And what are the main, we'll move gradually through this journey. What are the main components of that GS paper?
Right, sir. So in GS paper 1, sir, we are having the current affairs being the most important.
If there is a slide, you can take us to that
yes,
slide,
sir.
so that
Absolutely.
it's written also along with.
Absolutely, sir. Right, sir. So in the GS paper 1, sir, we are having current events of national and international importance. We are having history of India and Indian national movement. We are having geography, covering physical geography, social geography, economic geography, political geography, both perspective, Indian geography as well as world geography. We are having Indian polity, Indian governance, Indian constitution. We are having Indian Panchayati Raj system, Indian public policy. What are the human rights issues? What are the violations? We are having economic development, economic issues, emerging economic challenges, poverty, demographics, and many other social sector initiatives with some general issues on environment and biodiversity, climate change that do not require any subject specialization, along with some fundamental general science of 10th level.
So at our UG level, we prepare our students for prelims. So we have option of the students can choose from history, political science, geography, some science and technology aspects you have referred to, then other parts also. And I think essay writing is also a component.
Absolutely, sir. Essay writing is one of the most important paper of mains. And this essay writing is compulsory. Means if I talk about the overall mains pattern, we are having total 9 papers in mains. But what happened is the first 2 papers, which are paper A and paper B, compulsory Indian language and English language, they are only qualifying in nature.
So along with so when we are talking about civil services, there are 3 papers. One is prelims, mains, and then the interview. So in the prelims, first 2 paper A and B are the eligibility kind of a thing. They have to qualify those.
Yes, sir. Paper A and B in mains, they are qualifying nature. And if I talk about prelims, GS paper 2, which is CSAT, is of qualifying nature. Which means if you are scoring only 33%, then you are able to pass. Even if you score 100 out of 100, even then you are going to get only the qualified status in prelim, because it's only qualifying.
Qualifying.
But in mains, essay is merit ranking in nature because marks of your essay will be counted towards your preparation of final merit. And and it ranges from 250 marks for each paper. So we are having essay 250 marks. We are having GS paper 1, 2, 3, and 4 250 marks. So total 1250 marks for only essay plus GS paper 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Doctor, if I'm not catching you abruptly, can you mention one or two topics of essay which you have heard they have come in the mains essay writing?
Yes, sir. Sir, they ask the essay from the perspective of two things. Number one, to test the candidate's writing skills, and number two, test the candidate's current affairs knowledge related with the happenings of India and how the global international events are affecting Indian economy, Indian polity, Indian society at large.
And one or two topic, if they comes to your mind,
one or two topics are united we stand, divided we fall.
Now you can take it to any kind of a post.
Now you can take it to any kind and you can mold it in your own way.
So economics person can go in economics way, physics person can go in that way around psychology or international or politics or history.
Absolutely. And even if you are from literature, you can take it from
that point of view. It's beautifully elaborated that essay writing checks the drafting skill, that means the communication skill as well as
the writing skills.
The writing skills. Along with the analytical kind of a current affairs knowledge of that.
Absolutely.
So, Doctor, so far so good. This is something regarding our IS. Now, the second thing over here is the role of public policy. What do we mean by public policy? What's the difference between a policy as such and a public policy? Why do we say it like that?
Right, sir. So basically, sir, public policy is the rules, regulations, laws, bylaws, standards, actions, and inactions by the government. There was a famous scholar by the name Thomas R. Dye, who has defined it as public policy is any action that the government wishes to do or not to do.
So public is, when I say public is related to state. State means government.
Government. Public policy means government policy. It means it is the executive side of the government. When we talk about government, there are three organs. First is legislature, second is executive, and third is judiciary. So when we say public policy means the government policy, which is drafted for the maximization of the welfare of the people at large, catering to the needs of maintenance of law and order by the government in the bestest possible manner, in the cheapest manner, so that the resources can be utilized in the optimum manner. And along with this, they are focusing upon the execution side, the implementation side. For example, if I talk about political science, in political science, there is all rules, regulations, institutions, organizations, constitution, establishment of agencies. But when I say public policy, or which is a sub part of public administration, it means whether that rule, regulation, law, bylaw has been implemented. If yes, in how manner? It means this how part will become more important.
So, Doctor, this is an era of globalization, localization, where different definitions are floating around. And everyone might not like to go into the third portion of this particular title, the civil services, the government side. And yes, someone wished to do something in the public policy kind of a domain. So what kind of a job opportunities are there, and what are there any, first of all, are there any essentialities of public policy? If I wish to do public policy, is there any eligibility that I need to acquire for it, or any graduate can do?
Right, sir. So there are two ways by which a person or a student or a candidate can get into public policy. One is general.
No, I'm talking about the education level. Public policy, I think, is not a subject in +2.
Right, sir.
So it is not a subject. When it comes to graduation,
yes, sir.
So anyone can take public policy, first of all.
Anyone can take if they are interested.
If they are, definitely. 100%. The interest has to be
yes,
the litmus test for them.
Yes, sir.
So if he is interested, definitely he'll take public policy.
As a specialization.
As a specialization in their graduation or the post-graduation grade.
Yes.
So now the second question, which was the main question, where are the job opportunities?
Right, sir. So they can get the job opportunities in many policy think tanks, such as the Niti Aayog, which is the National Institution for Transforming India, earlier the Planning Commission of India. They can get the entry into Observer Research Foundation, which is a very highly regarded and most popular research hub of this country that provides data, that gathers data and do research and provide meaningful results to the government and many other consultancy firms. Third is you can get into Center for Policy Research. Fourth is you can become a consultant in public policy yourself if you are having a specialization, because anything is a part of public policy. If someone is specialization in education, they can get into education policy. If somebody is specializing in science related domains, they can get into health related policies. If someone is specializing in environmental science, they can be a part of environmental related policies.
So all kind of policies and frameworks which the government, that is the state, decide for the general public at large, they are divided into certain compartments like health, like maybe environment, maybe
Education.
technology, education, or few
Employment,
others,
yes.
employment. So we can be a master of that.
Yes.
We can have expertise in that,
Yes.
and we can find out opportunities in that. And few organizations you have mentioned in over there. Doctor, that take me to the second question. Is there any kind of opportunity if I have done public policy either in the graduation or the masters? Is there any opportunity for me in the private sector also?
Yes, absolutely, sir. Right now, corporate sector has also increasing its needs and requirement of the skilled public policy analysts and skilled public policy experts.
Because the policies which the government announce definitely affects the industry at large.
Absolutely, sir. Because whatever the government is, this is, suppose if I give you a small example of changing the tax regime for the corporates.
Yeah.
Then for that 100% they need the experts who are specializing in this particular part of public policy, who have studied all the clauses, acts, laws, regulations of this taxation regime of the government and how it is going to save a lot of taxes for them, obviously.
And also, when we are talking about the world is a global village, there are different organizations from different countries also working. So we can understand the policies over there and interpret or understand it into our own grounds also.
Absolutely, sir. And moreover, the students are getting the opportunity for international organizations such as the United Nations organizations and many other international agencies and organizations. For example, World Bank, for example, IMF. If I have to cite one example here, one of our students of MA Public Administration, after doing this course of MA Public Policy, specialization in MA Public Administration, was successfully placed in United Nations organization. He started his journey as an intern. His name was Sen Hapong from northeast part of this country. And for 1 year, he was posted in Thailand. And after that, for another 1 year, he was posted in Malaysia. And after 2 years of internship, he was placed as a junior rule of law officer for the United Nations organizations.
That's good.
So now he's dealing with the public policy and law and legal aspects of United Nations organization.
So I can see the passion, you being a faculty from public policy, I can see the passion that how you are
Yes,
explaining and how you are in touch with the students. That's very great of you, Dr. Manvender. You are always
you,
considered to be a heart-touching man.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sir, that takes us to the middle word over there. The role of public policy we have understood, the civil services we have understood. The third is governance.
Yes, sir.
What do we mean by word governance?
Governance and administration.
And administration.
Sir, governance and administration are basically one of the most important challenge for the government, because Woodrow Wilson, the former president of USA, once remarked, it is getting harder to run the constitution than it is to frame one day by day. So it is very easy that you are able to frame the constitution and insert so many rules, new amendments even, but it is getting harder day by day to run the constitution. So it is this running this constitution that has influenced the domain of public policy and public administration at large. Now, if I talk about this governance.
So what is your public policy? how is your governance or administration?
Which means that is it only theory that you are making, or you are implementing at the grassroots level?
The execution part. Execution. You were talking about the political system in over that, that three pillars.
Three pillars:
one,
legislature,
executive,
and judicial.
So it is the execution part.
Execution side. It is the most visible. Woodrow Wilson has remarked it is the most obvious side of the government. Okay. It is the most visible side of the government. It is the government in action. So basically what it means that a person, when a person born, how we need to prove that that person is born with the help of birth certificate. Oh. So who gave this birth certificate? It is the administration, means the public administration, means the government administration. Then if a person dies, how do we prove that a person is no more? With the help of death certificate. So who provides us with the death certificate? It is the administration against. So there was a famous scholar, Faustin Marx, F.M. Marx. He once remarked, somebody asked that, what is the significance of public administration, Mr. Marx? To which he replied that it is like oxygen. It is like lifeblood of our human body. It is everywhere. Can you survive without oxygen? So just like a human being is unable to survive without the oxygen, similarly, administration and governance are everywhere, right from the birth of a person till the death of a person. There is no sphere of an individual's life which is not covered by the government or the public or the governance.
So in a way, if I understand it that way around, public policy is framing the rules.
Yes, sir.
And civil services definitely are at the execution level.
Absolutely.
So governance and the administration, you are saying that they provide the direction and they provide the plans and execution strategies for executing.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can elaborate it further.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, it was only the governance concept till 1990s and 2000.
Yeah.
Why? Because at that point of time, there was a famous case in which there was a company that was in the United Kingdom, which was basically charged with the corruption cases at a very high amount of level.
Okay.
So that committee was, when done the auditing, in that auditing, Bradbury committee was formulated, Cadbury committee was formulated, and the results were astonishing. That the funds of the governments were not utilized properly, and there was a nexus that has developed between the corporates and the government, and they try to mobilize in such a manner in which the basic orientation and motive of public policy was completely uncovered. So in order to transform that scenario, the government came out with the idea by the World Bank in a paper that was written in 1995, Planning and Development. So that paper has led to creation of a concept called good governance. So for which we are having two famous scholars, David Osborne and Kat Gabler. And when they try to define good governance, they say governance is the activities done by the government as a whole. That includes all activities. And government is the instrument that we use. The instrument is outdated now, and it is time to remake it. So this remaking of this concept of governance came to be known as good governance.
Doctor, we have at LPU, do we provide any kind of opportunity of masters at in public policy or government policy? What do you say?
Yes, sir.
What's the name of that program, if it is?
Yes, sir. Basically, we are having the masters in public administration with specialization in public policy. So if a student joins this program, the student is going to learn the public policy specialization from second term. So second, third, and fourth, he will specialize.
It's a term means a semester.
A semester.
So it's a 4 semester.
4 semester.
And is there any opportunity of internship also?
Yes, sir. 100%. We are offering the internship opportunities to all our students. For example, here I would like to give the example of my students who have passed recently in MA Public Administration, and they have been enrolled for doing their internship in many government and district commissionerate officials. And not only this, one of the students has been selected for doing some public policy related course in Japanese firm.
Yeah, you were referring it the other way.
Yes, sir.
And he has done paid live project also.
Absolutely.
He earned during his study also.
Absolutely, sir. And not only one
Not
student.
only.
All the students,
All.
100% of our students have actually done the real-time online paid projects targeting towards the experiential learning.
So you are making them not to go for civil services at that. You are making some money also to go into their pockets.
Absolutely, sir.
That's a very interesting discussion, Doctor. This discussion can go on forever and ever because this is such an interesting topic. We'd like to take some questions if there are. We'd like to request. Okay.
Okay. Sir, thank you so much, first of all. So we have few questions. So can I take them up, sir?
Yeah. We are, I think Dr. Saab has elaborated the civil services, what is civil services, how, what are the different forms and things where the civil servant can go, what are the opportunities, what are the eligibility criteria, what are the opportunities that are available at LPU for cracking or preparing for civil services, what are the different eligibility criteria and exam pattern. Same way Dr. Saab has elaborated what do we mean by governance when we move in from governance
To good
when
governance.
Osborne has said that government is outdated, now we have to redo the thing, and that redoing is the good governance and public policy, where he has elaborated the scope of public policy not only in government but also in the public sector. We are ready to take the questions. We'd like to answer them as best as we can.
Okay, sir. First of all, thank you so much, sir, Pavitra sir and Manvendra sir for joining in and for giving your time. And yes, sir, we have this question again. It is from anonymous attendee. So it says, "Sir, good morning. Sir, can you tell me what should be the basis if we want to pursue career in civil services?"
Okay, sir, please.
I think all the answers are directed toward, all the questions are directed to Dr. Manvendra.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. When we are talking about civil services, the main base is you are having minimum graduation. Means after graduation, you can of course attempt the civil service exam, and the minimum age requirement, that is 21 years of age, along with one of the most important criteria, that is strong willpower and your firm determination that I want to become a civil servant and I want to crack UPS. That firm determination, as I have already mentioned, along with your perseverance of efforts, must be there. If your perseverance is lacking, then it doesn't matter whatever is your background. Okay, because civil services is an exam which don't care about backgrounds. You will heard the news, you will read the news that an auto rickshaw wala's son has become the UPSC topper. You will heard the news that a farmer's son has become the UPSC topper. You have often heard the news that a student who was not even able to have a proper electricity was able to crack UPSC civil services. You have heard the stories of a person who is, even after attempting all and exhausting his second last attempt, means if there are 6 attempts now, then even after attempting for 5 times, that person is still determined to go for one last attempt. That showcase that what is your firm determination, your strong willpower, your vision. Are you really determined to become a civil servant, or it is only because of power, perks, privileges, prestige, status that is coming up with this? And let me tell you very clearly that please do not come into civil services by just thinking about the perks that you are going to get. Perks is it something else? It's an addition, but the most important thing is the additional role responsibilities that you are going to get. Because remember, you are going to take care of the lives of millions of people of your district. You are going to be the district in charge. So you are directly reporting to the chief minister. You are directly reporting to the chief secretary. Right? So you are responsible for proper public policy execution. You are responsible for bringing change, and that is why nowadays we are having the Prime Minister's Excellence Award for the civil servants. So those civil servants who outperform, who are outstanding, have been awarded by the Prime Ministers on 21st of April. Why 21st of April? Because 21st of April is celebrated as the National Civil Service Day, because this was the day when the father of all India services, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, has given his first probationary speech to the probationary officers of the 1947 batch. So this day is celebrated as a National Civil Service Day on 21st of April every year.
Thank you, sir. Pavitra sir, do you want to add anything to it?
I think he has already shared. We started from the same thing. Civil services is not a cup of tea for everyone. If you wish to have civil services, first of all, keep in your kitty 3-4 years. If you are determined, if you are very much sure, then only you must enter into it. But yes, once you enter it, do not feel hesitant to accept the failure. There are 6 chances. In my time, I have also given IAS exams. My dad was from civil services only. I attempted only twice, and after twice, I lost the faith. So I could not be IAS. I could not be officer. I think the same way sir has also done two attempts. I think.
Yes, I have also attempted twice.
Twice.
And my grandfather was ICS, part of Indian Civil Service, before formerly known as Imperial Civil Service. And in this civil services, as sir has already mentioned, like you need to be really very much patient. If you are not patient, then this is not your cup of tea.
Result will not come in a day. But believe me, if there is IAS, nothing, no comparisons with IAS.
And there are one more thing here I would like to quote with your permission, sir, that civil service, even if someone is not able to crack it, don't worry, because it is going to transform and change your life forever. You are not going to be the same person ever again, because it will transform your personality 360 degree, right? For example, if I talk about myself, while I was preparing for my civil services, okay, it's fine, I was not able to crack it, but I was able to become the All India rank 1 topper in the prestigious competition success review magazine Super Brain Essay Contest 4 times.
And also, if you are unable to crack IAS preparation gives you so many different ways, so many different options for which you can keep on giving exams of those things, like we were discussing that state exam.
State Civil Services exam. You can give many other central government exams. You can give the SSC, Staff Selection Commission, CGL exam, combined graduate level, SSC CGL exam. You can appear in banking exam organized by the Institute of Banking Personnel Selection, IBPS board. You can go for private sector. You can apply for corporate sector. You can go into public policy. You can go into teaching jobs. You can go into research jobs. You can get into many emerging fellowship programs by the government as well as by many national and international agencies. For example, the Gandhi Fellowship Program, in which you will be deputed at a DC's office, or you will be attached for 6 months to 1.5 years at a particular commissionerate level. So you will be directly reporting to the DC or the commissioner, depending upon of the case. And if you have performed brilliantly well, you may be moved to Chief Secretary. And if you complete your internship under Chief Secretary, then 100%, even though you are unable to crack it, you are able to get some kind of good position in Chief Secretary office. Another option is CSS, which is Central Secretariat Exam. Okay, so if you are unable to crack UPSC, still CSS is there for you. You can appear in Central Secretariat Services, which is, and the main benefit is you are going to serve in the capitals only and at the Secretariat headquarters only. Apart from this, you can get into many non-governmental organizations positions, who, especially for those students or aspirants who are very much into, social service, social welfare, and working with the non-governmental agencies and organizations to cater for the social needs and to serve the society. They can get into NGOs very easily just by having this public policy, administration, and public background.
So it prepares you not only for one job, it prepares you for life.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And I definitely agree. Sir, we have another question, and it says, what are some successful examples of collaboration between civil society, private sector, and government in addressing complex policy issues? It's a very tough question.
Okay.
No, it's
Okay. The very basic example here I would like to quote. The brilliant example is India Against Corruption Movement, IAC, launched and introduced in 2010 under the spearship, under the headship, under the leadership of Anna Hazare, the famous Gandhian philosopher and Gandhian activist. And that India Against Corruption movement, which has later transformed into bringing that thing which was envisioned right from the 1966-67 time period with the introduction of Administrative Reforms Commission for the first time, in which K. Hanuman Thaya was the chairperson and the acting president was Morarji Desai. So he wanted to introduce the ombudsman-like system, which is a Swedish system, which means that what if the person who is responsible for providing the citizens from corruption and from any kind of unethical practices is already involved in corruption, then who will save the citizens or the people? So in 1805 in Sweden, this concept and idea of ombudsman has emerged, which has later spread to many other Norwegian countries and Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Finland, and then came to UK, USA, and then to India. So in India, now we are having this Lokpal and the Lok Ayukta Acts. Lokpal at all India level, only one. Pan India, one. And Lok Ayuktas in every state. So we are having these realities, which was not even, able to came into reality or become a reality due to many political influences or due to many other things. But now it is a reality. So here you will see Anna Hazare, civil society. You will see government subjugating to the demands of Anna Hazare and his movement and the association of other agencies. It's a perfect example. It's a brilliant example.
Another example can be, it was started as a business model only, but maybe it can be related to somehow Shulab Shauchalaya. Shulab Shauchalaya was also started as a hygiene kind of a thing, where the hygiene was not proper in some kind of parts of the country. They started a different kind of washrooms. Then if you read the story of Shulab Shauchalaya, government took over, government contributed, government was interested, government was giving some certain kind of help, and now it is spread across whole of India as a movable, that's a portable or a movable? Portable washroom.
Moving toilets.
Moving toilets and certain better toilets.
We call it mobile toilets.
Mobile toilets. And definitely there are many other examples also where you will see civil society, government and few other partners joining hand.
Another example, if sir allows me, then I would like to mention the Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, which was able to bring the right to information into reality. Can you imagine this thing? Right to information, which was nowhere present during 90s and 2009 period, has become a reality now. And it was introduced in India on 12th of October 2005 under the headship of Aruna Roy, who has brought this into reality, who has made some serious efforts to become it, to make it a reality. Otherwise, earlier government was issuing the funds, disbursing the funds from central to state and state to local government at both urban and rural level to the Panchayati Raj. But when it talks about the development, it was not there. So where were the funds going? Because it was only maintained as a record on manual register. So anybody can manipulate. So you are writing that yes, we are having this fund, we have disbursed this much fund, but actually it is not going to the grassroots level. So in order to improve this, it was a culmination of MKSS along with the government and many other national and international NGOs and civil societies to bring this right to information into a reality. And later on, it was constitutionalized in 2002 to the famous 86 Constitutional Amendment Act to make it a reality. So now we are having this right. Anybody can ask, except two things. If it is related with the security of a nation then the government is not supposed to provide you the data or information, or if it is related to the threat or national importance, then the government may reject. Otherwise, in almost all cases, any person or aggrieved citizen can directly file an RTI and get the information.
Yes, definitely, sir. Sir, there's one question that's my personal question. I actually wanted to know about this. What is it, sir? Uniform Civil Code, like it's been in news for quite some time now. I just wanted to know what is it?
Okay, basically, Uniform Civil Code is an effort to integrate the entire country into one country, one nation, one uniform civil code, so that we can not have many different laws for many different sections of the society at large. We are having, if I talk about marriages, just giving one
Yep.
example, we are having the Hindu law code, number one.
Yep.
We are having the Muslim personal law code. We are having this famous Teen Talaq case or the Triple Talaq case. Because of this, nowadays we are having some reforms coming in, that it is not easy to say to your wife just 3 times talaq, talaq, and talaq, and then it is the divorce. No, because of this, what the government has planned is that how we can make a one uniform law which is applicable to all the sections of the society, so that one section of the society cannot misuse the law in their favor, or they should not impose their laws or rules upon the people, because it is related with showing some kind of imposing nature. Like, why you want to impose something which is no more relevant, which is becoming more and more like a obstacle in the field of development, in the field of growth, when you see and compare your country with other countries. You go to, yes, sir.
Very right. At one type of point, different laws may be of relevance to different kind of caste, creed, or society or community at large. But when we see ourselves as a global nation, all the laws should be governed equally. When we say we are a citizen of India, I think when you are asking about the question you have raised, it is about answering that I am citizen of India and I must be governed by the same law, whichever caste, creed, religion, community, society, culture I shall be part of. So that's the bigger concept of that all the laws should be unified into one. And definitely there are debates on this side also, that side also, pro, cons, there are favor, there are disfavor. Someone will say this law is not good, someone will say that law is not good, so we need to. It's a question of debate, but that's the point that's basically the governance.
Yeah.
That's the middle point, that how you have to bring in the middle path so that everybody can traverse on the same path.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We have other questions as well. So can I take them up, sir?
Aji, Divani, you can take definitely.
Okay. Okay, sir. This question is, okay, in the face of pressing global challenges like climate change and inequality, how can public policy and administration foster sustainable and inclusive development?
Okay, sir. Okay, when we talk about the environmental challenges, global warming or climate change, public policy becomes very much pertinent. Why? Because there were so many protocols and treaties that have been made and culminated as a part of sustainable development goals, which were earlier a part of Millennium Development Goals, which were only 8 or 10 in nature. But now we are having more than 16, in total 17 sustainable development goals.
As defined by United Nations.
As defined by the United Nations organization. So public policy, as you all know, that it is about the government execution side, government implementation side. So with the help of public policy, environment is also one of the very important component of the public policy. So with the help of public policy specialization, especially in environmental sciences, climate change, biodiversity, nature, then of course, any individual can contribute in providing lot of recommendations, suggestions, so that the government can think, government can review, and if suitable, then government can bring some new policies, some new rules, some new laws which will be helping that nation, that state, that city, that town, that country in order to achieve SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So yes, of course, public policy plays an immense positive role in this.
Yes. Sir, with this, we have our last question. It is, what are the ethical considerations that public administrators should be mindful of when developing and implementing policies?
Right. When we talk about ethics, I remember Arthashastra and the person Kautilya, known as Vishnu Gupta.
Yeah.
So Kautilya, someone has asked that, Mr. Kautilya, is it possible that we are into politics and we don't involve in any kind of unethical practices? To which he responded that it is same like, suppose if you are tasting honey and you are tasting one drop of honey on your tongue. And now if I ask you, is it possible for you that you are having honey in your mouth and you are not having the taste of honey? So similarly, it is just like maintaining the proper balance, that you are surrounded by too much power, to which Lord Acton has also remarked, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it is upon the administrator how to keep the balance. And when you are pursuing public policy program, when you are pursuing civil services, you will be trained in this part. You will be groomed in this part, how you can maintain ethics, irrespective of the fact that you are surrounded by many unethical considerations, unethical individuals, unethical institutions, or unethical organizations. That doesn't matter. Your job as an administrator, as a public administrator, is to serve the society at large. So it is same like you are having the honey at your tongue, but you have to maintain the balance so that you should not be, only involving yourself in enjoying the honey and then forgetting everything. It is not like that. So that's why it is very important and essential to maintain this. And our education system teaches you, in school days, we are having this moral education class, which is a compulsory class. So right from the childhood, you are being taught. In fact, if you look at the entire civil services syllabus, it is nothing but all what you have studied in your school days, that's it. So if a student has very well versed in his or her schooling, you don't need to prepare or go for any coaching in the civil services. With this, I am summing up and giving it over to you.
Sir, so sorry to interrupt. We have another question coming in, and it says, before taking up a career in civil services and give it all in, so would you please highlight some challenges that one should be prepared for while serving in profession?
Okay, one of the most important challenges that you may encounter during a profession is too much pressure, too much political pressure. Okay, it is one of the most challenging thing for the civil service aspirants and also the persons who are actually into the civil services, because you have read many cases that so and so person has resigned from the civil services after working for these. This is because they are not able to tackle the pressure. But let me tell you very clearly that in any walk of life, pressure is everywhere. Okay, you don't be in an illusion that if I do quit civil services and if I join any other organization, there will be no pressure. Okay, the nature and types of pressure will vary from institute to institute, organization to organization, but pressure will be there. Because nowadays we are living in a competitive world. Everywhere there is a competition. So in this competitive era, you should be prepared for handling and tackling the pressures, number one. Number two, you have to be very patient. Okay, try not to be too much reactive. Try to be patient and try to understand the scenario from the holistic perspective. Try to do the analysis and then, don't be judgmental. Okay, those people who are very judgmental in their approach, they feel it, they will realize it, that it becomes too much difficult day by day as they move on their career path of the civil services, because civil services 24 hours job. Your morning is starting at collectorate, then afternoon is spending on the field, then evening you are spending in a village with some villagers, and then your night is spending at somewhere else. So there is no fixed pattern. It is not a 9 to 5 job. If you are thinking that, okay, at 9 I will be coming in my, lush green bungalow, coming out from my lush green bungalow and, there will be so many servants and they are just waiting for me in a secretariat. No, it is not like that. You may have to listen to so many things. Sometimes you have to listen to scolding also from your seniors. Sometimes you have to tackle that things. But only those civil servants are successful who remain persistent. We are having the examples of many IAS officers who have been awarded. For example, Gaurav Lodha was awarded the PM Excellence Award for his contribution. He was posted in Rajasthan, Badmer, as a IAS officer, and how he met with the mafia, the sand mafia in Rajasthan, how he was able to tackle that pressure and ultimately not willing to leave. We are having the examples of the medical doctors who have tried to bring reforms in the generic medicines. You see, when you are ill, you take one medicine, that is paracetamol. Now, paracetamol is also coming in different brands.
Yeah.
And the higher brand you go, the higher the prices.
Nice.
So he has brought this reforms that can we make it 20 rupees one tablet? Can we make it 3 rupees tablet? So he has initiated these reforms like this. So there are many civil servants who are performing excellent. And please don't believe that it is all corrupt. There is too much corruption. There is no point of going into civil services. This is all not true. The reality is something else, because there is a large amount of civil servants who are honest civil servants. Okay, there is a large lobby of those people who support honest civil servants. So don't be, in a negative assumption or presumption that there is no point. What's the point of going into civil services because it's full of corruption or unethical practices, or what I am going to get? I'm just going to serve.
The logic is, I think the question was, what are the different, what is the main challenge? Challenge is definitely, sir has elaborated, the pressure. The pressure can be from anywhere. It can be within, outside, time management, political, sometimes colleagues, sometimes so many things. So pressure has to be maintained. And kuch nahi, start doing yoga and learn the yoga asanas which can relieve you. So these are the parts.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And I think, yes, I think we're done with the questions. So at last, I'd like to thank you, sir, again for coming in, for having this discussion, and for giving your
Big round of applause to Dr. Banved.
yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sir, with your permission now, can I show participants about the admission process?
Yeah, we will stop our videos and begin.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so just in a moment, to all the participants who had queries of admission as to how you can take admissions, right? So I will be just sharing my screen in a moment. Okay, so this is one shot resolution for every question that you've had regarding admissions, and this is LPU.in. So before we move on to admission queries, I would like to show you our webinar page. So basically, once you click on admissions here, there you can see at the left hand side LPU's EduFair webinar page. And once you click on that, this will be the page that will be opening, and where we have different webinars coming up daily, almost daily. You can register for them for free. Okay, now going back to the admission queries here. So just in a moment. Yeah, so once you click on admission, there are different courses and programs that are visible to you. You can see after 12th, after graduation, after post-graduation, after 10th, etc., etc. So I am assuming you are somebody who's done your 12th grade and wants to take an undergraduate program. This is an example. You can go and search for any of the program. So once I click on after 12th undergraduate, you can see different disciplines that are available in Lovely Professional University. Almost all the disciplines are given here. You name anyone and we have it here: hotel management, architecture, journalism, performing arts, public administration, that we've just had a debate, or you can say a discussion on. So once I clicked on public administration, the program, we have the course offered under that program given here. So once I clicked on this course, you can see all the details you require of that particular course will be given here. So these are all the highlighted options you need to just search for. So once you click on the course, this is the duration. First thing first is 3 years, 6 semesters going to be there. Now program details gives you your eligibility, whether you're eligible for a particular course or not, that is given in your program details. Now moving to highlight option, that highlight option gives you what all researches, what all patents, what all student achievements are there, and what all rankings are there of the university in context of the course or the discipline. So you will be finding that in highlight option. Now is the fee structure that I would want to tell you is once you click on the fee, you can see that our fee is 50,000 per semester. But again, this is not the usual fee that our students pay. Why? Because they get a lot of scholarships. And on what basis? We have 3 categories basically, and you can just explore. And if you fall in category 1, you can avail up to 48% of program fee, and hence your fee can be reduced to 26,000 per semester. So for this, you need to just follow these categories and check whether you're eligible for that or not. Now, I will be just telling you important date of the admission, that the last date of the admission is 15th June 2023. So I hope this is just today. So I just urge you, if you're watching it, kindly start applying for the course and start applying for the test if you want to. And how you can apply is simply from here. You click on apply now option. And once you click on apply now option, there are some bare minimum requirements that will be asked. For example, your name, gender, etc. And after that, you click on submit. And you, after that, you will be given your dashboard. And once you will be given your dashboard, from there you can apply for the course or the test very easily. Now I hope that I have given you a brief as to how you can apply in a course. Now if anything that you would want, you can just write in the Q&A box or chat box, or you can directly have a schedule a call with us, have a live video counseling session, or WhatsApp us here and have a live video counseling session as well. So these options are available on the site itself. Now last but not the least are the numbers I'm going to show you. So these are the numbers of our counselors here. So you can just call on these numbers, and on the other hand, you will be finding counselors resolving your queries. So I hope that I have given you a basic idea as to how you can take admission and what all things are required for you to take admission. Now with this, I would like to take permission from the experts here and the participants to wrap this webinar up. So I would like to extend my thanks to all the participants for coming in here and for devoting your time. And I hope that you've enjoyed the session like I have. And at last, I would like to thank all our experts here, Pavitra sir and Manvendra sir, for coming in, for giving your time, for giving your knowledge and experience to us. And special thanks for the way you were explaining things. Thank you so much. So until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you so much for joining in.